The goal of this project is to take the familiar paper or PDF Toastmasters application form and translate it into a native web-based form. They can be filled out online, sent by email, read in the body of the email, and approved through an online process as well. And to create one smooth workflow that goes from the member filling out the form, paying their dues, and then an officer coming along and verifying that the dues have been paid, that the application is complete, confirming that and moving on. So to go back to the beginning, this is how it's presented. On this opening screen, we ask for a few basic pieces of information. If we're going to collect an application online, we definitely need their email address. We need that for pathways and other purposes too. And we need to know whether this is a new membership or a dual membership or a transfer membership. And there's some extra prompts here that explains why it's important if you're doing a transfer membership that you give us as much information as possible. Even if it's a dual member, it might be helpful if somebody put in their member ID to make it easier for you to look up that record. For example, email addresses change. So on the next screen, we have our club information already filled in because that was set on the back end. That's all already filled in for all these sites. The member comes through and is going to put in their personal information, their name, address, and so on. So when we scroll down to the bottom, there's a place for them to also put in the name of their sponsor. And because this is integrated with the WordPress for Toastmasters system, they're able to pick from a list. So we don't have to worry about them spelling somebody's name wrong or not having their member ID. We have that sort of built into the process. So they need to verify everything that they would need to verify on the paper or PDF version of the form. They add their signature and submit. Now this is a demo site that I'm showing you. So there's a prompt here to pay with a credit card, but it's a test account, so it actually gives me a number that I can use. So I'll put in this phony number, and obviously you would use a real number on a real website. So that's processed. We will get back a confirmation screen for the payment. And at this point, if I switch over to my persona as a club officer, I'm getting a message saying that a pending application has come in, and I need to review whether this has been filled out completely and paid, just as I would with the paper application. But there's a link in here that takes me to the approval page. So this is where I add my signature. We're just doing a typed signature, but that's a legal electronic signature, particularly with all the disclaimers saying that you agree to accept this as a legal electronic signature if you're using this system. You can add a note if you need to, just as you might scribble a note in the margins of the form. So even if they wrote something in wrong, you can annotate the application with your correction. Now again, we're trying to turn this into one smooth workflow. We'd also like to create an account for this person on our website where they can come in and sign up to speak and perform other roles. So we guide you through the process of now that you've approved the application, we'll send them an email confirmation address. Now we promise to keep these records on file, and they're all here. We can go back and look at this again when I'm entering the information into the Toastmasters.org website. I can copy and paste from here. And one of the things this accomplishes is it reduces a lot of errors with data entry, with people's handwritten name on a form being illegible. So that was the completed application form, which gets sent to a list of officers and also the applicant. And at the end, I also showed briefly the confirmation message somebody would get about their password for our website, how to set it. It does explain that that's not necessarily the same, as well, it's not going to be the same as their Toastmasters.org password. They'll need to set that up separately in order to get into Pathways. But this is streamlined, and we've had it operational for just a few days on a couple of club websites, and it's gotten a good response. Seems to reduce a lot of friction in the process of getting people signed up and started with the club.